Hi, parents and coaches. Coach Brett here, your mental performance coach. And I want to hop on today and talk about a really important and popular topic amongst parents and their student athletes, which is composure. So I recently got a message in our Facebook parents and coaches group that I wanted to share with you. I'm not going to mention any names. Um, but I did want to share that this is a common question slash issue that comes up a majority of the time when it comes to performing well, performing poorly with their student athletes. So one parent came in and just want to share with you that they see this frustration cycle with their student athlete. The athlete gets caught up in a cycle of frustration, some anger, which then leads to poor body language, which then the poor body language leads to not performing well. And then when they don't perform well, the coach sees that they're not performing well and that they're frustrated. So then they pull them out of the game. And then the student athlete gets even more frustrated because now they feel that the coach doesn't believe in them. And then they maybe sit on the sideline or sit on the bench with even worse body language. And then this cycle starts to just speed up really fast. And it feels like it's on a downward spiral and we cannot get out of it. So this is a common question or a common issue that most parents are asking about in order to help their student athletes. So I want to shed some light on composure and have a quick video today to give you a little bit of insight on some things that you can kind of bring to your student athlete to help them. So the composure is basically the ability to manage physical, emotional, and mental states when you're performing. So you want to be able to perform at your best when it means the most, and being able to, if you're frustrated, get back to a state of being present and in the moment where you're able to perform without that frustration and anger feelings. You want to play joyful and confident. So how does an athlete lose composure? Well, most of their time when they lose composure, they are not present. Their mind and body are starting to travel to these lands of what ifs. What if this happens? Or what if I don't score a goal? Or what if coach sees this? Or what if I don't execute this play? So the what ifs are traveling around in their heads, making it very hard for them to stay present. They're either worrying about the uncertainty of the future or visiting the not so pleasant past experiences that they may have had in a previous game or even previous play. So, how does your athlete keep their composure? It's all about staying in the present moment. It's about being where your feet are and the win mentality. And I don't mean like win and wins and losses. I mean WIN. Yes, it spells win, but it stands for what's important now. W, what's, I, important, and N is for now. So if your student athlete can start thinking in the present moment, what's important now, and being able to flush whatever had just happened in the past and get back to a present moment focus, they will be able to have more composure on the court, on the field, meaning that that frustration and anger cycle will stop and not continue into that catastrophizing of what ifs, and one thing happens, it leads to another. So we want to be able to stop that. And here's a couple ways that your athlete can do this. Number one, which I think we all kind of take for granted, is our breath. Breathing and taking a deep breath brings the mind and body back to the present moment. It's almost as if it's like an internal flushing system of forgetting what had just happened and being able to not project into the future. If you've seen Ted Lasso, when he says, have a goldfish mindset, 10 seconds and just flush it. So one way you can have that goldfish mentality of the 10 seconds and flush it or forget it is to have your student athlete practice their breathing and being very centered and intentional with their breathing. The other thing is going back to that win mentality, WIN, what's important now or what's important right next that's supposed to happen. And then the one other thing that can help your student athlete is self-talk. If they state their name and what they want to happen instead of thinking about the things that they want to avoid, this will again bring them into the present moment. So instead of saying, oh, I hope I can get this next play, it's I will drive the ball up the middle. Or maybe it's, oh gosh, I have to go shoot a foul shot right now. I haven't been really great at these. Those are the things that are happening in their head. If they change their self-talk in their head and say, I will make this free throw, or I will cause a turnover, saying things that they will do instead of things that they want to avoid will help tremendously with their self-talk. So to wrap it up, composure is so important, especially to avoid that frustration and anger cycle that leads to one thing over another, and it just seems like they're never going to be able to get out of their own heads. Breathing, take intentional breaths, think WIN, what's important now, get back to the present moment as quick as you can, flush the past, get back to present, and then that self-talk, really thinking about giving themselves direction on what to do instead of what to avoid. I hope this helped with composure, and I look forward to our next YouTube video. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can always reach me on our Facebook group. You can reply to any of the emails that goes directly to me. I am happy to answer any questions. Again, I am a mental performance coach. I work with dozens of athletes on a weekly basis in small group sessions with teams and one-on-one sessions with athletes all around the US. I work with students out of state. I work with students in state. I work with students weekly, bi-weekly. It all depends on what your student athlete needs in season, out of season, preseason, postseason, conditioning. I offer a lot of different packages and a lot of different ways to work with your student athlete over Zoom. Most of my sessions are done. That way it's easy for them to pop on. We get what we need to get done, and we look to accelerate their momentum and their will to be able to be in the present moment, work towards what their goals are for their academic and athletic goals. So again, I'm super excited to be here, and I want to be able to help your student athletes use these tools that I see a lot of my athletes having tremendous success from. They just don't know that these tools are available, and I want to be able to give them access to these tools. So again, mental performance coach Brett, and I look forward to our next video. Stay tuned.